Hey, this is Tish Griffin. I am Tish Griffin here again to share with you, to talk with you today on all topics related to finances. We're going to talk about debt. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about those things that are affecting us in the Chicagoland area, in the suburbs, and actually nationwide. I want you to know that we've got counselors that are standing by to help you with whatever problems you may be experiencing right now. If you are experiencing issues, if you have stress regarding money, regarding your debt, regarding your finances, and you're looking for someone to help you through it, I want you to know counselors are available. They're ready to talk to you and help you through your situation. And you can reach out to a counselor at 800-994-3328 or go online and chat directly with a counselor at familycredit.org. Now, I want you to know that your situation is so unique and different to you as anyone else. Like, your issues do matter. Keep in mind, we may all be going through the same thing, but we feel them differently. So that's why Family Credit can be your trusted resource. And we're here to offer the information for you, the education that you need, the reassurances that you need that you are not alone. You don't have to go through this alone. But guess what? We've got some resources and some help that can help you. And I'm hoping that the tips that we share will help you as well in the future as we go throughout 2026. Because yes, this is a new year. We are feeling more empowered typically at the beginning of the year, but as the year rolls on, we get stressed out, we get overwhelmed. And so we're going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about those and go through each and everything that we can help you with today. Remember, money stress is not personal failure. It doesn't mean that you fail just because you're stressed out about money, because you're receiving those calls. I want you to know that that just means that it's a system issue plus a strategy issue. So we're going to alarm you with those things today that will help you get your strategy together to overcome any problems and issues that you may be facing. And sometimes it's just so much as thinking about those things and putting a plan in action to get through it. We may not have all the answers at first, but taking those small steps will definitely help us chart the situation better and be more empowered to get out of debt, to control our finances, and to do those things that we need to do so that we're not stressing about money. Again, 2026, we're going to make this our year not to stress because there's so many other things going on in the world. I don't want you stressing about money and your finances as well. Reach out to Family Credit, familycredit.org, or to 800-994-3328. Right now, a lot of our households in and around the city, we're being squeezed in so many different directions. And a lot of people are wondering, hey, where's my next meal coming from? How long can I sustain? How long can I even last going through everything that I'm going through? And our goal is to help you, understand. I want you to understand that when you feel stuck, there are some things that you can control and some things that you can't. And those things that you cannot control, I don't want you worrying about them. But let's look at those things that we can control, especially what's going out of our wallet each and every single month. What can we hold on to? And remembering our key, that when we feel overwhelmed and we feel stressed and those things start to come down on us, we've got to look at what we can control. And those things are basically, if you're having problems with your finances, with your debt, with any of those issues, the only things that you can do, number one, you can either increase your income or decrease your expenses. And I know right now for a lot of people, increasing your income isn't as easy as I say it is. It takes time, it takes discipline, it takes actually looking for those ways to increase our income. And it's not going to happen overnight. But keep in mind, we didn't get into debt overnight. That took some time. That took some doing. It wasn't just 15 seconds and like that, we've got all this debt. No. We have to be realistic and know that we did contribute to this. So there's going to be a ways for us to go to get out of it. Keep in mind, if you feel like your money isn't stretching though as far as it did before, We are all feeling that way because guess what? It's not stretching like it used to. So what are those things that are affecting us that we kind of have we can control what we do with it. We may not control why it's happening, but we can control what we're doing with it. So let's think about that. We've got prices that are on the rise or that they're fluctuating so much we don't know exactly what it is that we can do. So some things that I was thinking about: grocery expenses. You've got your basic household living expenses that are all over the place. We've got utilities and our gas. 1 minute gas costs an arm and a leg, then all of a sudden the gas prices are down. But guess when they come down, they're going to go back up. So we have to be prepared for it. So what do? I want you to sit down, think about your budget. Think about what's happening right now. So with shrinkflation going on too, that's happening so rapidly. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but we're paying a lot more for a lot less. Think about when you're going grocery shopping. It used to be that bags were so much bigger than the products we're actually bringing home, and prices are going up. And you may say, well, I haven't noticed that, but I have been noticing it like crazy. Growing up, think about a bag of cookies that you were to get. People love Oreos, Chips Ahoy, all those types of cookies. Have you ever thought that the price of one of those little bags would be over $8? Not at all. So then you start to think, is it even worth it? So what are some ways that we can combat that? We want to look for discounts. We want to look for that same item, maybe do a search in our neighborhood, a search on the stores that are near us. And right now we've got technology that we can utilize. We can Google anything that we want. We can find out information. So why not use that to our advantage? Let's take a look and see what prices can we actually pay out for the household items that we use the most. So start this way. Think about those items that you buy each and every single month like clockwork. Like your house would not exist if it were not for these products. So anytime these products are missing, you know someone's going to say something. It could be laundry detergent. It could be those items that we keep in our fridge, milk, juice, pop, whatever those things may be. What are those things that you're buying often? We want to make a list of our household staples. Then we want to take that list, right, and see if we can find who has the best deal, who has the lowest prices, or who has coupons that we can utilize so that we can keep our costs down. And you may say, that's too much work. I get that. But right now, we have to work harder to make sure that we're financially prepared. And we want to make sure that we're putting those disciplinary actions, those behavior modifications in place right now so that we can even live, so that we'll be able to manage, so that we'll be able to breathe and have some money left over in the course of our month. So if I knew that if I took an additional minute, 2 minutes to Google something, because I'm going to Google anyway. So let's use it to our advantage. I'm going to look at whatever movie is coming out, the saying that people are saying. I'm going to look up like the latest video trends. So these are things that we're automatically doing. But let's look up, hey, boxes of cereal. Who's got the best deal? Because we may see that same box of cereal at one store for almost $10, and you go somewhere else and they've got it for $2 or $3. It does happen, and all you need to do is put in a little bit of work to figure out the best prices that work for your budget. Let's look at our utility bills. Now with the new year, I know a lot of people are saying, okay, it's cold outside. We're going through this Arctic winter blast that, guess what? It's going to wreak havoc on our heating bills, right? Yes, it really is. So we want to be prepared for that. Call the utility companies, see what they have out there, see what can we do to keep that bill down. Do they have any types of discounts? Do they have any assistance that's out there? Do they have anything that you could qualify for? And then I want you to take it a step further too. Think about over the next few weeks as this happens, there may be times where we feel like our heat goes out, where we're not using it. It could be an outage of some sort. source. Are we prepared for those types of things? Not really. So what can you do to get ready? Keep in mind, if something were to happen and you're not using that service, you don't have to pay for it, right? So think about it. If your lights were to go out for a couple of hours, write down that time frame. If it goes out for a couple of days, if your heat goes out, write down that time frame. Reach out to the utility company and say, hey, during this time frame, I was not using this service. And sure enough, most of the time they will discount you for those days that you were not using that service. But if you don't say anything, you'll continue to pay those high prices each and every single time. And I don't want to see that happening to you. A lot of our budgets are not working. And these are little things that we can do, little things that we can think about that will help our budget as we continue to grow. Also, we're looking at basic household expenses. We use the same products for the most part, unless we're going to try something new. I mean, every now and then a new product will come out that'll catch our eye. But for the most part, when you're running your household, you know what you like and you know what you want. Let's look at ways for you to get it cheaper. I'm going to just bring this one up because this is one of my favorites that I had to actually realize, man, I'm paying way too much. Looking for deodorant. And you go into stores like your basic multi-purpose stores, Walgreens, you got CVS, you got grocery stores, Jewel, Meijer that are around, and you go buy some deodorant. Even Walmart, you're thinking, okay, that might be the best price for me. Walmart should be a little bit cheaper, or Jewel might have a coupon. But guess what? Let's do a Google search. I found that one can of deodorant spray for me was $11 in some cases if I went to a certain store. Just go on Walgreens, have to grab it right now, $11, $12. That's a lot of money, but it's a necessity for me, right? But I was able to find 6 of the same can, the same thing that I'm paying $11 each for. If I bought 6 of them, I only paid $21. Tell me, you can't tell me that's not a saving. That's a great savings for me. It helps my budget as opposed to where I would probably need like one every other week or so, or every week. So that's what? A lot of money that I'm wasting out. But guess what? I only pay $20 or $21 per quarter to get what it is that I need. And a lot of times I still have an abundance. So we're going to take those staples that you're thinking about. What's the hairspray that you like? The cologne or perfume that you like to wear? Where can I get a discount on those items? And it does work. It does save you money. So I want you to go through, write down those items, put them together, and then come up with a plan for yourself to save more money. Keep in mind, I save almost $10, $15 on just doing that with, actually I saved a lot more, because if I got 6 things of deodorant for $11 each, that's $66 where I'm only paying $20 for it. So I just saved myself $40. If I did that with all of my staples, like my laundry detergent, I switched out my laundry detergent. That saved me a lot too, because laundry detergent that I settled on, that I like, because it's friendly for my budget, friendly for the environment, I pay roughly $6 for it. But if I go to Walgreens, Walmart, those stores that are around the neighborhood, I'm paying up to $20 for something like that. So let's sit down and look at those staple items. I want you to figure out how much you're actually saving each and every single month. Another thing that I want you to think about with interest rates. Interest rates right now are all over the place. 1 minute they're up, 1 minute they're down, but we don't know what they're going to be. And I want you to focus on the number. Yes, we want the number to be as low as possible, but the key to it is making sure whatever that payment is, you can afford it. And yes, I know for a fact that you want a low number. I want a low number. Everything that's in us wants us not to pay extra or additional costs. And high interest rates on credit cards, on your car notes, on your personal loans, that means wasting money out of your budget. So we want to focus on what that monthly payment is and how does that affect our budget. We can talk to our creditors. We can reach out to a counselor at Family Credit, use them for a resource and say, hey, I've got this credit card company. I've got this loan company. Do you think they'll do anything to reduce that for me? Can we work on a budget together? use it as a resource, figure out what's going on, and see what we can do to decrease that interest rate. Sometimes it just really takes us making us a phone call to the creditors. And if you don't like talking to the creditors, totally fine. Guess what? Counselors are on standby at Family Credit Management at 800-994-3328. So if you don't like talking to the creditors, they can help you. They can help you figure out what to say to them, or they can do it for you, with you, work with you to figure out a smaller payment so that you can afford to pay these things off and pay them off quicker. Keep in mind, if you're struggling with high interest rates, it's going to take you forever to pay it off. A lot of times making a minimum payments, you're looking at like 10 to 15 to 30 years even paying off some of these at just making the minimum payment. So if you're making a minimum payment in your budget and you're paying this at a minimum, it's such a slow rate, but you're using someone to work on your behalf. If you call Family Credit Management, get the help you need, or reach out to your creditors directly and say, hey, what can you do for me? I can't make it the way that I'm going right now. This is, too much. Be it your credit cards, your car note, or any personal loans that you have going on. Reach out to them, see what can be done, see what they can do to help you, and let's start having those conversations about your debt, about your finances, about money, and see what these places can do. They all have different departments, different processes, and they have different offerings that can help you reduce your debt, get out of debt. But it's about the discipline, and do you have it to go ahead and say, yes, this is what I want. I don't want to be struggling each and every single month to make this payment. Keep in mind, we're doing this and it does pay off, even just a little bit, because we want to be able to put extra towards our debt too. So if we can get our payment down, we can get our interest rate down, we're not paying as much for interest or credit like that, we can get out of debt within 5 to 7 years, probably even sooner if we're a lot disciplined. Let's put together that plan. Let's get you out of debt and let's increase your financial wealth. That's what we want to do. We don't want you struggling with your budgeting. We know budgeting feels more broken nowadays. So I want to see that you have that money that you need to get out of debt. And these are little things that you can do. We talked about paying that minimum, right? Let's see how much more you can get out of your budget to pay towards some of your credit cards. Good rule of thumb, if you got some extra, you've come across extra, you've got a bonus that you have, you want to just get out of debt, you've got a few extra dollars each and every single month, you've made a plan to say, I'm going to stop doing this because it's negatively affecting my budget, because it's pulling more money out of my account. So I'm not going to go to the store each and every single day. I'm not going out. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to go to the grocery store and prepare a meal cheaper than me going out. So I'm going to take this extra money and I'm going to put it towards my debt. When you start doing things like that, that is when you will see that all this will start paying off and you will start moving. Your balances will start decreasing. You'll feel better. You won't be as stressed. It's such a beautiful cycle when you get in that habit and you can discipline yourself to do these things each and every single time. Now, let's move on. Let's some other things that are affecting you here in the area when it comes to your debt and finances. With everything going on, we just realized that the property taxes are increasing, and we see that more and more every single month as it goes on. It's getting harder to make your household monthly payments. If you have a mortgage, let's think about this. A lot of times on our mortgage, for most people, we have a fixed rate. It does not adjust. And there are adjustable rate mortgages out there. But again, when you got the loan and the adjustment period comes, you should be prepared to pay that payment no matter what. We want to live on the worst case scenario. If I'm prepared to pay a higher payment, but I don't have to, guess what? It's going to work out better for you. But for the most part, if you have a mortgage, you have a fixed rate. But sometimes we see that our mortgage payments go up. And most of the time lately in this area, it's because property taxes are going up. And there's a couple of things that you can do if that happens. For a mortgage, you're paying your property taxes, you're paying your principal and interest, and you may also be paying an assessment fee, and for your homeowner's insurance policy. You've got a policy so that if something happens to your house, you can be reimbursed for it, or they can help you rebuild, depending on if there's a natural disaster, fire, whatever that may be. But a lot of times when we get that policy, it just sits. We're making the same monthly payment for years and years and years. So if you've had the same policy for 20, 25 years, sometimes you can go back to the insurance company and see if they can reduce that monthly payment for you, especially because they've been paying it. You've been paying it for years. You've got a great history. And yes, there's some wiggle room there. So look at that as an avenue for getting your monthly payment reduced. With property taxes, you can also appeal whatever your property tax situation may be. If you feel like your taxes are rising, you can have someone come out from the tax assessor's office, look at your property. They're going to look at the properties around you and see if your property is worth what they said that it was worth. A lot of times when they do the tax assessments, they're doing it based off of a calculation. No one's really come out to your house like they used to. So you can have someone come out, they can reassess the value of your property, and then they can see if there's a way for you to decrease your taxes. Now, sometimes if you're doing this, sometimes the value does increase, but you have to be prepared for that. But I also think it's worth a shot, because a lot of times, in most cases, they do end up reducing your tax, your monthly tax amount. And that's going to decrease your monthly expenses, and you'll be able to better afford your mortgage. Another option, if you are struggling with your monthly payment, is looking into a refinance of your current mortgage. Now, if you've got an FHA loan, a lot of times they will allow you to refinance your mortgage without you having to do a lot, but they will do it if it benefits you. So that means if the rate that you are looking at is going to be lower and they feel like your monthly payment is going to be lower, then yes, it's going to be a benefit. Sometimes you may see that the rate is higher, but your monthly payment is lower. Yes, that's a benefit, because now your monthly payment is lower. It does happen that way. And it also depends on how long you've had that mortgage and your monthly payment. So keep all of this in mind. These are great ways for you to look at reducing your monthly mortgage payment, the amount that you're putting out each month, and being able to better afford your house. Because right now there's not a lot of help when it comes to housing. And these are the avenues that you'll explore. You'll be looking at your insurance. So call that insurance company. You can contact the tax assessor's office, and then you can look at refinancing your current mortgage. So a lot of times, if that happens and you reduce your payment, but you still have the same amount, and you feel like you can make more on it, you can do that as well, because that's going to get you paid off sooner. And if you can pay an additional mortgage payment whenever you can, let's say you do it every year, that's going to shorten the amount of time for you paying these debts as well. You may have a 30-year mortgage, but because you're making extra mortgage payments, you just reduce your mortgage time frame to 24 years. And you keep that going, and you keep doing it as often as possible. Another thing, if you are not a homeowner and you rent, we're seeing that rent is going up in the area as well. So this is something that you have to be prepared for. I see that there are sometimes people may lose their house. They had a mortgage, but they want to rent, and they get out there and start renting, and all of a sudden the landlord increases the rent. It happens. I'm sure you've heard of this happening. Your rent just goes up for what you think is no reason. But we also have to keep in mind that a lot of times these rent increases happen because the landlord's payments have increased. What they need to put out has increased. The property upkeep has increased. The taxes have increased. So they have to pass that on to you. And I know it seems like it's not fair, but we've got to see what we can do to work around it, because we don't want to be put out. You don't want to risk eviction. You don't want to risk losing that relationship. And sometimes it's just even harder to find something more when you are facing that. But use Family Credit as a resource. If you need someone to go over these things with you, feel free to reach out to Family Credit Management at 800-994-3328, or go online at familycredit.org. You can talk right online with a counselor. Tell them about your situation and get some help. So we know that those things are happening. We know prices are increasing. And sometimes it may seem like even the debts that we know the amounts of, things can happen. We can lose our job. We can lose our income. Again, the only things that we can do is increase our income or decrease our expenses when we're facing these challenges, right? So we want to jump on it. And I've also seen that a lot of people are struggling to make their auto loan payments. And right now, car notes are becoming more and more delinquent. Things are happening and we understand it. But sometimes if you reach out to your lender, reach out to whoever has that car note and see what they can do to help you with that. A lot of times they can take the missed payments, put it at the end of the loan. Sometimes they can rewrite the loan for a smaller payment depending on how long you've had the loan. But these are things that will help. Again, if you're struggling, reach out to Family Credit at 800-994-3328 to get the help that you actually need. Go online to familycredit.org and just continue watching every single week as we break down how you can get out of debt, how you control your finances, how you control your budgets. We are definitely here to help you, and we want to see you empowered. We want to see you doing better with your situation. So yes, take these tips, use them, do your research, Google those things that your household staples. After you make your list, look at your utility bills, see what assistance that is offered, and then let's see about cutting our monthly household expenses as well. If there's anything you need, reach out to a counselor and get the help. We'll see you again next time. Take care.